We're live. This is Radio Tekkers. It's time for the Merseyside Derby. Liverpool versus Everton from Anfield. And it's live. We are live. This is the Merseyside Derby. I'm flying so temporarily. I am magnificent Matt Willis, and I will be joined later on by the Texas gentleman Tanner Pruitt. And we've also got a special guest joining us, Mr. Ray Cash, who's an Everton fan. So there will be some balance on the show today. Not much, but there'll be some. Of course, I was going to go through the team sheet quite quickly, but unfortunately, there has been a slight change to the advertised Everton one. I've updated on the sheet here. Everton, who of course we're going to be starting with Pickford, Coleman, Mason Holtag, of course that we call him, and of course Ben Godfrey back. Ben Godfrey got injured in the warm up, so he has now been replaced by Michael Keane. So Godfrey unfortunately not going to be taking part in. He wasn't the first choice. He's out injured, unfortunately, in the warm up. So now going up against possibly most deadly strike force in the Premier League without your main defenders. Not what Everton want right now, of course. So, of course, the Liverpool squad, it's pretty much the strongest one they've been naming for weeks and weeks now. Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk captain the team, Robertson at left back, Fabinho, Keita and Thiago in the middle, as is standard. Mane, Jota and Salah up top. And the subs, of course, Kelleher, Konate, Milner, Gomez, Henderson, Jones, Tsimikas, and Diaz, with Origi as well, looking for another Derby Day goal. And of course, the Everton squad, we've got, as I mentioned, Pickford's in goal, Seamus Coleman, captain the side at right back, Mason Holtag, call him that because it's better than Holgate. That's all on Tanner's fault. Blame Tanner. Michael Keane, Mikalenko, Decore, Allen, Iwobi, Gordon, Richarlison, and Demarai Gray. Of course, Begovic, Kenny, Delph, Braithwaite, Rondon, El Ghali, and Price and Dele Alli on the bench. So that's the squad's gone through quickly. In the chat, we have Mr. Connor McCabe saying, hello, Matt. Big result there for Burnley. And then current relegation sign. Things are getting interesting. They're getting very, very interesting, of course. Obviously, Mags, who's currently on assignment, he'll be extremely happy with the result. Like Chris Harris, though, that was probably at the game. He seems to have a permanent position at Turf Moor. No doubt he'll be absolutely swinging from the rafters after the result of Burnley this afternoon, beating Wolves 1-0, of course. It's not the only result, of course, from a week from today's full time. They're now scrolling for you. Brighton were a big scoring draw with Southampton. And, of course, Chelsea were a 90th minute winner against West Ham after Dawson. When the only fit centre-half West Ham was red-carded and gave away a penalty. But Jorginho missed his penalty. It was a back pass that ended up in the arms of Lucas Fabianski. But Christian Pulisic, the American striker, who was brought on part of a three-man change in the second half by Thomas Tuchel, secured the points with a brilliant drive into the bottom corner from about 10 yards out. It was definitely what Chelsea needed. They had a run of 4 defeats in a row at home, which is not what they wanted. We wanted if this result had happened. This is exactly what Chelsea wanted. But as Conor McCabe was saying a minute ago, absolutely big result for Burnley. Obviously, Everton are playing Liverpool next, which means that Liverpool, in addition to hunting after Man City at the top of the league, obviously the gap is now 4 points, not 1, because obviously Man City thumped Watford 5-1 yesterday. Gabriel Jesus scoring 4 goals up until the Liverpool game a couple of weeks ago for Man City. Gabriel Jesus had not scored in the league all season, so he's now on about, I think he's on 5 for the season now. after starting the last few games, and he's actually starting to find a bit of form, which is just when Man City need him to. Let's be honest. I'm used to having someone talking with me at the moment, so we are about 10 minutes away from kickoff here in the United Kingdom from Liverpool versus Everton. We've got, as I say, it's going to be a very close fought game for sure. If you're down in the chat, if you've been watching the games this weekend, welcome, of course, and just let me know what result you were happy about this weekend so far. Okay, so pretty clear. Because obviously, big results for Arsenal. Man United seems to be getting nowhere fast. The confusion with Man United yesterday of why Bruno Fernandes took the penalty instead of Ronaldo. Ronaldo just didn't feel like it, apparently. And if your head's not in the game, you shouldn't be taking a penalty, of course. But the prancing pony, that is Bruno Fernandes, didn't even get on target, hit the post, went out for a goal kick, which is not what you want to be doing. If you're 2-1 down, and you pull it from 2-0 to 2-1, and you've got a chance to equalise, and he bottled it. Absolutely bottled. And then Granit Xhaka almost redeeming himself in the eyes of many Arsenal fans with an absolute rocket of a shot. We're about 9 minutes away from kickoff. Obviously, as I was saying, we're closing on things here in the United Kingdom. Mr. Tanner Pruitt is racing back to be my co-con for this game. As I said, Mr. Ray Cash will be joining us as well very shortly. The result for Southampton, of course, today, 2-2 draw with Brighton. This is exactly what is good for Southampton right now, because they're on a little bit of a slump recently, so it's good to put the brakes on that a little bit. And of course, James Ward-Prowse with 2 goals today. So that's 9 for the season for him, which is his best ever return in the Premier League, which is exactly what you want. I'm a bit out of breath after doing that, so I do apologise. I'm a little bit out of breath. I've been doing a lot of talking today. I've recorded a couple of other shows today as well. It's a lot to do in a short period of time. I do apologise about that, of course. So also give me a prediction down in the chat. Do we think is this going to be a Liverpool win, or is it going to be an Everton win? Obviously, I'm making no bones about it. I definitely think Liverpool are going to be victorious in this game. Although, having said that, the only Liverpool Everton match which Jurgen Klopp has not won as Liverpool manager at home was last season, 2-0 loss to Everton. Obviously, very different side out today. Back in last February, I think it's the 20th, and of course, in the reverse fixture last year, was the game which got Virgil van Dijk was out for 10 months with a cruciate knee ligament injury. So we all hope we don't see injuries like that ever again. It's just very, very messy when that can happen. Yeah. In the last 30 meetings since 2006, Liverpool have had 14 victories. Everton have won twice and 14 draws. So Everton have denied Liverpool 4 points on 16 of the occasions. I am now being joined by someone who's cashing in right now, Mr. Ray Cash. How are you, sir? Dude, you have to mute that or we're going to get a copyright strike.
5 seconds.
Mr.
What's up, my brother?
Mr. Ray Cash, welcome to a Tekkers Watch Along, sir.
I missed the last one we did. And I really truly couldn't make it that one. So I can't miss this one.
You're very, very welcome, sir. Very welcome. See, you're wearing the blue and white, of course, of Everton today. Now, we need to address this. We need to address the elephant in the room, as it were.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I wasn't there the day that you picked Everton as a side. And I've got to say that before the season started, I thought that would have been foolish. At the same time, are you feeling the same way a bit now?
Uh, I have a little buyer's remorse, a little bit. Yeah.
The thing is, though, is that Ruud Gullit, the legendary Dutch footballer, he once famously said, "You can change a lot of things in your life. You can change your car, you can change your house, you can even change your wife, but you never change your football team."
I agree
This
with that.
goes deeper. Um, and as a lot of people said, Liverpool's great manager, Bill Shankly, said, "Football is not a case of life or death. It's way more important than that."
I love that.
Which of course it is not. But yeah, but once you choose your team, you're stuck with it. I mean, I became a Liverpool fan during the dark years. I mean, we're in a lovely period right now. One day that those times will go away because Man United fans are finding it out to their detriment this season. I mean, back in the 70s and 80s, Everton were challenging for trophies on a regular basis. They're going through a dark time this season for sure. Can they stay up? I've got to be honest. I'm not entirely sure it's in their favour. I mean, they've got some tough games.
Yeah.
They've lost 18 of the last 28 games in all competitions, which is not a good record. Now, I've done a lot of talking here, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to let you talk for a moment, and as we are approaching kickoff here. And I believe in the US you are slightly behind us, so I will pause when we get to kickoff, so we are in sync with each other. But
I
do you
appreciate
think
that.
I do it for 10? I have to do it for 10 all the time. It's all good. But I'd like to ask your opinion of because have you been keeping up with on a regular basis this season, or is it sort of like dip in and dip out?
With Everton, yes. I have not been able to keep up with the entire Premier League. I check the table fairly regularly just to kind of see where the standings are. But I've kept up with Everton all year. I may not have been able to watch every game, and I'm kind of glad I haven't because it got ugly there for a while. Like when you lose 3-0 multiple times in a row, like it's pretty bad. And the thing that blows my mind is very clearly you can look at the players and see we have talent. And Lampard and even Rafa Benitez are great managers from what I've been told, or at least very
Right,
good
right.
managers.
I did talk about you two, but I need to come in here. Rafa
Sure.
Benitez, I will agree with you. Rafa Benitez is an experienced manager, and he got a lot out of them players. Better he could anyway. However, you cannot say Frank Lampard is a great manager.
Hmm.
Not yet. He's too young. He's too.
Okay.
He had a Derby job, which let's face it, anyone could do. Um, and he also did Chelsea when they had no money and did all right. He had money and couldn't do it.
Hmm.
And he come in here, and I think it was the case of he's the only he wanted to go into a club, and they're the only club that would have him.
Wow.
That's my personal thoughts. I
That may be the
think
case.
I think that Everton they wanted Rooney, and Rooney said no because he wanted to carry on what he was doing at Derby because he was with them right way through, sort of thing. But you make a lot of valid points there. So I'll continue. Sorry.
Thank you. And by the way, I'm coming up on 2 minutes before the game. Is that where you are?
About that, yes, give or take, yes.
Okay. So we may be about the same.
Because we are.
Um, the thing with my inexperienced eyes, the two things that bother me about the way Everton has played this year is number one, uh Pickford, I believe, is a very good keeper. Everybody's told me he's a good keeper. He's the starting keeper for the English national team.
He's England goalkeeper
Yeah.
in the same way that Harry Maguire is England's number one centre half. It's not saying much.
Well, that's fair. He hasn't played great this year, but I don't think it's his fault. I think the back four, the defenders, and I like a lot of them. We made the trade for Myelenko, which has kind of helped that left side a little bit, but
Yeah.
they give up. They give up so many goals and you get into the box so easily against Everton. We're always on our heels. And the other issue I have is I was telling this to Mags the other day. Either be terrible on defense or be terrible on offense. You can't be terrible on both. We don't we they look so I'm not even gonna say out of place, but they just look so discombobulated out there.
I'm now paused, just so you are aware.
Okay.
Because we are now taking the knee, I will say, to obviously at this moment. And at this moment, I'd like to, of course, remind you that Radio Tekkers fully supports the Premier League's anti-racism message. If you see racism at any football match, PremierLeague.com/report racism. Do it anonymously.
So they're about to kick off. They're about
Yeah,
to kick.
as soon as Alan kicks it, let me know.
Okay. I'm excited to do this, by the way. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm very happy to have you.
Oh yeah, they just took the knee. Okay, yeah, I'm way behind you.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a really it seems like such a small gesture, but it shows solidarity.
Kicked.
We are underway at Anfield. Everton kicking us off from left to right, attacking the Kop end in the first half. Liverpool defending the Kop end. Your commentary team here is magnificent Matt Willis, and of course, the Earl of Everton, Ray Cash.
I love that name. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, it's a new thing. We'll just try. It might not work. May not stick, but we'll try. We'll try it. And of course, the tech gentleman Tanner Pruitt will be joining us as Thiago muscled out of it there a little bit, and Jota now on left wing passes it back to Van Dijk.
I know forwards are supposed to be able to. They're not defending isn't their strong point. Yeah. But man, Anthony Gordon, Richarlison, and Damari Gray, they have struggled all year. Anthony Gordon is MVP.
Gordon is the danger man for me for Everton today. If they can keep him, I know Richarlison is a Brazilian international. Damari Gray, the great signing for such a small fee. Agreed. But at the same time, Gordon is such a young talent. I think he's going to do big things for Everton for sure. As Liverpool just knock it around the back, Fabinho bullied off it slightly by Richarlison, but it's back with Matip, who's had a standout season. Very few injury problems for someone who's got biscuit knees, as Mags would say. Salah, Mane, Fabinho, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Matip, and Thiago. It's nice and simple passing from Liverpool as they look to open up.
But it's crisp.
Everton already. And Salah now taking on and beating Mikalenko and keeps the ball in play. And the foul given against Salah. Decore complaining to the referee. I'm not quite sure what for. You got the foul. As the bias starts to come out of my voice. Liverpool, of course, in the hunt for 4 trophies still. The first English side to ever win 4 major trophies in one season. No Man United fans, for Charity Shield does not count.
That's a huge distinction, by the way. 4 of them. Ooh.
The Football League Cup, which Liverpool have wrapped up already. The FA Cup, which Liverpool were in the final of. The Champions League, which their journey for that continues on Wednesday, playing Villarreal, who some people think are the easier team, but they have already dumped out Milan and Bayern Munich, Juventus and Bayern Munich on the way to the semi-final. So they're not an easy pushover for sure. I mean, I'd rather face them than Real Madrid or Manchester City, of course.
Bayern Munich is playing for the Bundesliga championship, aren't they?
They've won it. They
didn't win it.
They won it for the 10th time in a row yesterday.
Wow.
Again, by beating Borussia Dortmund, who was second.
Wow.
So that was But to be fair, but the German league used to be much more structured because the money was shared out equally, and then they changed where the money was given out. They gave it out to first, second, based on who was in first, second, third, etc. like that. And then it ended up going to Bayern Munich won, and now Bayern Munich just win it all because they have all the money.
Can you tell me your thoughts on Richarlison? Do you think he is the superstar that I guess many people perceive him to be?
How do I say this without sounding like an arse?
No, be you. I want Matt. I want your honest opinion.
Okay. Before I will, Connor McCabe say, "What's up, Ray?"
Connor, what's up, brother?
As Everton, as Gordon draws a foul from Fabinho about 25 yards out, so Everton with a free kick here. I'll point out that my opinion of Richarlison is not particularly high. I think he believes his own shit don't stink. Is he talented? Absolutely. You've got to be talented now. Like, the thing is that nowadays, talent can only get you so far in the Premier League. So use the case of, he's a great player. He's a great player. That's something. And the thing is, every team's got great players now. You've got to be exceptional now to be a superstar. I mean,
especially at that lead striker position. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, right now we've got Mikolenko, the Ukrainian, over the ball. What a moment this would be if he was to score at the top end.
Good defense.
The block has happened, and Salah and Jota take care of that. Jota back in. Jota, who's playing left wing, by the way, is in the right back spot right now. He's Liverpool's front line will defend from front, and they will defend, lose the ball quickly, and then straight on it. Fabinho seems to have a bang in the head.
Man,
and go on.
I feel like if you were to look at the analytical numbers of just the time of possession that Everton has on offense, it's got to be less than 30 minutes a game. That's ridiculous. Just no opportunities.
Well, that would be quite generous, right? Actually, because it was actually
good point. Yeah, I was trying to be nice.
No, generous. The reason I say that is because it was worked out. It was actually worked out once by Opta, the stats people, how much of the 90 minutes the ball is actually in play for. On average, it's 61 minutes. Yeah, 29 minutes of the game, the ball is out of play. Either the ball is dead because of a free kick or a penalty or a corner. Adding them all up, saying suck a shoe, should intersect on that, it soon adds up.
Oh, Jesus, man.
I mean, Everton's running, for example, they're just showing it in the UK, is Chelsea, Leicester, Watford, Brentford, Palace, Arsenal. That's some tough games. And just a bit more doom and gloom your way, unfortunately, Ray. Liverpool have won the home fixture against the other bottom 9 in the Premier League. Everton's the only team they haven't played at Anfield this season. They're playing it right now, obviously, but they've won every other game at home against the bottom 9. So that's his. As Salah, Mikolenko with a great tackle, actually, and then dummy Salah for good measure. He has been a shining light, actually. He's been the one shining light for Everton because probably due to the Ukraine side of things, we obviously support Ukraine, obviously, and we hope that the conflict ends sooner rather than later. But it was quite emotional watching when Everton played Man City back in early March, I believe it was, and they played against each other. They weren't even playing in the game. Zinchenko and Mikolenko, they weren't even playing. They were on bench, and they were, and they just went and hugged each other during the warm up, and it was such a moment. It was a moment which, like right there.
Yeah, that frog in your throat.
Richarlison's gone down here. He's complaining. Is he asking for a foul, or is he actually injured?
Richarlison reminds me a lot of NBA player like Dwayne Wade, who's always on the ground. Richarlison is on the ground.
Fabinho didn't. I've got to be honest here. Fabinho did not even touch his face.
Well, I mean, this is football now. Come on now, this is football.
I know, but if at least, but bearing in mind, given now you got VAR.
Oh yeah.
You got VAR now. Why? At least make sure that you're in contact in the right place, sort of thing. Speaking about VAR, of course, Ray, there are only 2 grounds in the Premier League, Liverpool and Old Trafford, which do not have a big screen. And Fabinho's in here, and it thumped out the ground by Mason Holtag. We called him Holtag, not Holgate, because Tanner said his name wrong once, so it's stuck ever since.
That's his name from now on.
Holtag is now his name. Virgil van Dijk and Fabinho bring it forward again. Fabinho, of course, who everyone says is just a holding man, but he's also a very good penalty taker as well. He did it for many years at Monaco before he came to Liverpool.
Okay.
And here's Thiago. there's just no rush with the press from Everton.
But they don't. Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're planning.
Alexander
If that's
Arnold, and it's given away to Everton. And can they break?
Oh, can we go? There's Damari.
And it looked like Iwobi was
Nope.
trying to put the afterburners on, but the pass is a little too late, and Allison mops up quickly, and it's back to Fabinho in midfield.
Our passing is so subpar. Crosses and
Jota,
volleys
Mane,
volleys.
closed out actually quite quickly there by Everton, actually. Liverpool win the throw, but Allen was across quite quickly, the Brazilian midfielder.
Well, think about it, Matt. The whole 11 is back there right now. They better play some defense.
Well, to be fair, if I offered you a draw right now, would you take it?
Yes, I'm hoping for draws the whole way out because at least we get a point.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping.
I'm not sure if a point would be enough to get you out of the bottom of the.
You think Burnley's going to continue to get more wins the rest of the?
I'm at a point right now. Just so you know, the stats come in the UK. 10 minutes played. Liverpool have had 98 successful passes.
That's
how many have Everton? How many do you think Everton have had?
15.
7.
But to be fair,
Liverpool are playing at home. Liverpool have got the advantage, as it were, that side of things.
You call it at home, and I know it's at home because it's at Anfield, but I mean, it's not like they're far from Everton Stadium. There's got to be some blue in that stadium.
Oh, there is. They've got 6,000 in there, but it's still, you know, when you got the home support, it acts like a 12th man almost, which is great. I've just checked the table, by the way. If ever you got a point today, you'd still be in the relegation zone because Burnley have a better goal difference.
Ooh, okay, so we got to win. Okay,
you need points. You need points for sure. There's 5 games to go after this one in the Premier League for Everton and Burnley. So it's
that win today hurt. That win today hurt Everton terribly bad.
Burnley have taken 7 points out of 9 since they sacked Sean Dyche. Whether people are happy about Sean Dyche being sacked or not, I know that some people aren't. But the fact matter is, the results are coming in now.
It's working. Do you think? I've noticed recently we've moved from that 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3. Do you think that's better going forward? Because I always thought that either DCL or Richarlison as that one lone striker was better for us offensively than having all 3 together.
This is the thing, you see. It all depends on your point of view, which sounds so obvious about saying your point of view, but like when I line up 4-4-2 under Rafa Benitez, that was very old school. Very old school thing. It's not something that a lot of teams do nowadays. And then you got lining up 4-2-3-1, which is very
hybrid, isn't it? That's kind of like a hybrid.
It's a 4-2-3-1. A lot of people will see that more as basically a 6 and a 4 at front. Some people see it that way. And as if on cue to save me from talking over and over to myself, here he is, the Texas gentleman Tanner Pruitt has joined us.
How's it going, everybody? How are y'all doing?
We're doing good, Tanner. We're talking about 4-2-3-1 over 4-4-2. Because Ray was ready to brought that. Which formation do you prefer, sir? Of those
or 4-3-3, which we're playing today.
Yeah, you are playing 4. You are playing. Well, it looks more like a 4-3-3 today. Yes. So yeah, we've just before things came on here, I didn't let you know, Tanner. Ben Godfrey was meant to be starting for Everton before the game, but he got injured in the warm up. Michael King is playing.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Tanner, greetings from Baltimore.
Oh, well, oh, you're out in Baltimore today. All right.
No, I'm not.
No, I was about to say your room looks very, very similar to your home in Houston. So I was very curious to how that worked.
Conor McCain in the chat is being somewhat rude, saying, "Look what the cat dragged in."
Yeah, well,
behave yourself, Mr. McCabe.
I mean, it's not like I expected anything less.
It's all good though. It's all good though. Yes.
Oh, wait a minute.
Everton a break here.
Well, what minute are you guys on?
14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Oh, okay, y'all are a little bit ahead of me. That's cool. That's cool though.
You want to
Everton
pause?
are breaking here. It looks like that might be who wears number 11 for Everton? I can't tell who that is. Is that Andre Gray?
Damari Gray, yeah.
Damari Gray? Okay. Andre Gray.
Yeah.
I think he plays for
as Mane
Park
finds
Rangers?
Salah, who finds Trent,
Yeah.
and then takes two to tackle Trent.
We have defended well actually today. I'm blown away, and I know that's only going to last for a half.
I will say most of that Dan and Michaelenko. I'll be honest. He's up against Salah. He's doing a good job so far.
Major trade. It changed. I don't want to say that was the change for the season. Rafa getting fired was, but he helped kind of solidify a terrible back four.
I will say I need to draw attention to what you said earlier, Ray, for Tanner's benefit. Ray saying that Rafa Benitez and Frank Lampard are both great managers.
That's what I was under the impression. I guess I'm wrong.
Rafa Benitez.
I am
a Liverpool fan is never going to say another manager is a good manager. Let's face it.
I mean, I'll go out on a limb and say Rafa Benitez is a very good manager. Frank Lampard,
Champions League winning manager.
Champions League winning manager. He's
Gordon's gone down here. He's demanding a penalty, but he's been told to get to his feet by the referee.
That's 3 times that he probably needed a free kick today.
I'll try and answer some of these questions. Yeah, I just saw the
Do you want us to pause for you, Tanner?
No.
Yeah, we can pause. We don't mind.
Okay, well, I'm at 15:55. Liverpool marching up the field.
You're about 10 seconds behind us now, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, and you can catch up.
So a couple. I guess let's try and eat this whale one bite at a time here.
Yeah.
4-4-2 versus 4-2-3-1. I guess it depends on the context of how you want to play positionally. So I mean, let's see here. Frank Lampard. I think he has potential to one day be a good manager. I think he's got a little bit more of a solid baseline here with Everton as opposed to what he had when he was over at Chelsea. He seems to have found at least a consistent way of how he wants to play with Everton. We play hard for him. That's important because we weren't playing hard for Rafa towards the end. No, I think that Rafa was the wrong manager for y'all on many, many, many different levels. Putting your trust in Frank Lampard, who is not a very experienced manager, is an interesting choice. But I will point out that Everton typically, while they are a very good team, I think that they bring their game to an extra notch here whenever they play Liverpool, just out of history's sake, out of the fact this is a derby, a crosstown rivalry. They bring their play to a whole nother level when it's against Liverpool.
Well, we should.
Indeed, it's very much a case of form go out the window because it's the derby. I'm going to point up this little stat, unfortunately. Everton have lost the last 7 Premier League away games, 23-5.
And what's interesting about that stat is I'm surprised we scored 5 goals.
I will say 3 of them were in the first 2 of that 7 losing streak.
Good save.
Yeah, that's another take by Ray that Jordan picked as a good goalkeeper.
I think he's a fine goalkeeper.
You hate him.
I think he's a prick.
Well, everybody hates him. Everton fans hate him. He's a hateable person, but
a great kick from Pickford downfield, looking for Richarlison in, but Matip's gone with him. Iwobi.
Isn't that crazy that there's nobody running with Richarlison?
Jordan!
He's running by himself.
That was the closest Everton come to scores ever.
Oh, and Tanner, the reason I brought up the whole 4-2-3-1 thing is because we are never attacking on offense. And with the 4-2-3-1, And with the 4-2-3-1, at least you have an attacking midfielder, and the striker doesn't have to worry about controlling the ball. So
Yeah.
because it's not working right now.
No.
We're not on offense at
And
all
Liverpool,
ever.
while Liverpool are just looking around between the centre halves, Conor Cave asked a question in the chat. How did this derby get the name the friendliest derby?
Same city.
No, because same city is usually like blood and
the
boiling.
bloodiest derbies, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
The reason why it became a friendly derby in more recent times is because of Hillsborough.
Yeah, Everton were very they kind of rallied with Liverpool regarding the Hillsborough incident,
Alexander-Arnold,
which is great to see. You know, I mean, there's actually a number of clubs that helped Liverpool during the whole Hillsborough incident. Obviously, Mönchengladbach has a long history with Liverpool and being friendly as clubs. Celtic as well, very friendly with Liverpool and obviously helped during Hillsborough as well. But Everton, obviously being in the same city, you know, there's still commemorations from both sides when it comes to Hillsborough, just because of family and friends being on both sides of the pitch, if you will. So
there is there used to be Everton representatives at the service that was held at Anfield up until COVID. That was happening. But they also decided the season before COVID hit, actually, that would be the last one that was going to be held there. But it is now, there's still services held, obviously. They're held at local churches. Mane!
But don't let the name fool you when it comes to being called the friendliest derby. This is still a warfare in most games. There's a lot of physicality in this game.
I say his hand on my heart here, Ray, is that if Liverpool win the league this year, but Everton won this game, this is all that Everton would talk about all season long.
Yeah, this would be.
I love that.
Everton could be relegated. They wouldn't give two hoots if they beat Liverpool.
If we win. Agreed.
If Everton prevented Liverpool from winning the title, that would make their year.
For benefit of the tape, 85% possession of Liverpool, but Everton had 2 shots to 1 for Liverpool. None on target for either side yet. It's been very nitty-gritty.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Do you think Liverpool is too patient right now?
Liverpool we're coming up to halfway through the first half, and so about quarter of the way through the game already. It's flown by quite quickly in your good company, sir.
Thank you.
It's one of those difficult situations because the Liverpool crowd can get restless. Liverpool are notorious for it's a corner to Everton. Matip concedes the corner from Richarlison. Liverpool, obviously, I'm not sure if you know this or not about Anfield. There are superstitions about Anfield, like you touching the
sign,
the sign on the way out saying this is Anfield. The Cop End, which is what Everton are attacking right now, Liverpool tend to attack in the second half because the myth is that the fans suck the ball into the net. It's a myth, of course, but it also is backed up by the stats that Liverpool usually do better attacking the Cop End in the second half.
And they'll have that end next
in the second half. Yes, absolutely.
I think Liverpool are also on a they're in a very delicate situation with this game because obviously it's a very competitive, very physical game with Everton. Everton's going to bring their best game all year.
The ball from the corner going right back to Pickford, by the way, who's now trying to put Gordon in again behind, and the fullbacks are in opposite position right now.
But yeah, this is going to be a difficult game.
Gordon has just gone down.
4 times in 25 minutes.
Yeah, that's
we got a yellow coming out.
Gone down.
That's a book.
With the yellow card coming out here, not sure if it's in the box or not. I'm not sure if he's booking a Liverpool player or Gordon for diving.
He's booking Gordon for diving.
Because we had Robertson at right back after the corner. The yellow card is going to be going to Gordon. He's not happy about it.
Well, and
What?
yeah, he
We're going to see
dived.
the replay. We'll see if he dived. I got to admit, I didn't think there was much in it.
But yes, like I was saying.
Yeah. That's
Oh my god.
yeah. Navigator's like, what the? Navigator, what are you doing, man? He runs into Navigator and then rolls around and then gets to his feet like Martin D. Michaelis.
This is a very much a Neymar-esque kind of move here by Mr. Gordon.
I was saying that Gordon is a massively talented young individual, but it is also his fourth yellow card of the season. Conor McCabe in the chat asks, if Everton go down, is Pickford still be England number one, or does Ramsdale take his starting spot?
I think Ramsdale's taking his starting spot regardless. He's just been so good.
That's the thing is, though, Pickford and Maguire seem to be untouchable for England in terms of starting places. Maguire, of course, was dropped yesterday for the defeat by Arsenal, but Maguire was dropped not because of his form. He was dropped because of a bomb threat to his house.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So can I just say that I'm not a fan of Manchester United, as everybody knows, but anybody out there who sending bomb threats to footballers, because it's a fucking game of football for a start, okay?
It's not that serious.
No.
It's not that, like breaking into people's homes and like doing bomb threats, threatening people's families. It's not that serious.
It's not cool. It's not clever, and you. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, I'm no fan. I don't think of Harry Maguire. I'm not a big fan of Harry Maguire, but I would never say that. But I've said my piece. I'll part that to one side. I don't think Pickford is the number one goalkeeper for England anymore. The only reason he's number one for Everton is because Lampard seems to be buddies with him. I think Begovic should deserve a cracking goal.
You think so? You think Pickford's form has been bad? Or I think it's so much of that back four putting him in terrible situations.
There's another foul here, and he's having a word of Seamus Coleman, the Everton captain here.
Yeah, see,
he's trying to calm his players down.
This is what I've been trying to talk about here. I know that there's a lot of action going on, but
yeah, sorry, mate. I'm trying to.
No, you're good.
Juggling a lot of balls here.
So there's Liverpool if Liverpool in an ideal world need to strike the perfect balance of both winning this game so they can stay in the league. That's top priority, stay in the title race, and B, they need to come out of this game as unscathed and injury free as possible. Which
why
against
is the
Everton,
wearing a dressing gown?
That's a good question. But that is Liverpool's two priorities, and both seem to be at odds with each other.
Free kick from and Van Dijk so closely on the end of that free kick from Robertson there, but it's gone for a corner.
Yeah, Klopp was on the sidelines, really asking him why his coat was the way it was.
It was an odd choice of jacket, wasn't it, for sure?
Yeah, I've never seen a jacket look quite like that before.
And you see Everton fans in the bottom left side of the picture, as you have Alexander-Arnold on the far side at the Anfield Road end, taking the corner, right-footed.
I just want to let you both know, I pre-gamed this game with about 12 ounces of cold brew, so I'm going to be
feeling pretty good in the next half.
I might be hitting the roof here soon.
Well, Michael Jordan told us the ceiling is the roof.
Yeah.
You're gonna be going to the moon, will you, sir?
Straight up to the moon.
You got an NXT shirt on right now, so I mean it only makes sense.
Yeah. Please leave that shirt. Please leave the shirt on, Tanner. Thank you very much.
Oh no!
Oh, are you coming out of it? Is that what it is?
You'll get to see the burly chest of the Texas gentleman.
More like a Texas digital ham, more like.
That'll get us viewers.
Yes, no.
Yes, take off the air.
No porking around here. I can tell you that much.
Oh, we're gamming a good time. It's all good. As Robertson is released quickly by Alison Becker. He checked his run. It's back to Van Dijk.
Hey, Matt, I've got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Whatever happened to Leighton Baines? Did he retire?
He retired.
Wow.
He
Okay.
retired last season.
You know, he was always my favorite Everton player.
That's not saying much. He's a jerk.
Why do Everton players tend to be jerks? I'm learning that.
But a great penalty taker. Salah's gone down. Liverpool fans screaming for a penalty. Didn't happen, of course.
I'm
And
sure
then
Leighton
Alan
Baines is
and
a nice guy.
and to be fair, he probably is. But Alan had a chance to clear the ball downfield, and he hooked it for a corner. This is an unnecessary corner to have given away here. Liverpool have scored more goals from corners this season than any other team in the Premier League.
Yeah.
As I rolled in, the bounces and then cleared out by Everton, but they are running the risk of Liverpool getting one lucky bounce and it back in the net sort of thing.
They put it right. They put it right where they could be dangerous. Yes.
Indeed. Graham from back, I was like 85% possession. What the fuck? Afternoon and morning, gentlemen. Indeed, afternoon, sir. Good cop, bad cop is now in your inboxes, people, if you wanted to check that out after we finish here. We had Morty from a Morty and Fitch comedy podcast on this week. It was fantastic. A fantastic episode for sure.
You see the next comment from Connor? I didn't know that was happening. Is that true?
Thoughts on Gareth Bale to the MLS rumors? Personally, I don't want him at Columbus.
I didn't know that was.
I mean, y'all could really use him at Columbus. I
don't think he'd go to Columbus. Oh, it's
the last
one from Jota.
The last rumor that I read was he's going free agent and he's actually returning to Wales to play for Cardiff City.
He's fairly
that would
young
be something,
too, isn't he? Isn't he still fairly young? Like 30?
Yeah, he's in his early 30s.
I love the fact that you think 30 is young, Ray.
You know, I'm thinking of you, my brother.
I'm near 40.
I was trying to say you're young.
I love you for that, but I'm nearly 40, you jerk.
I'm 34. I'll be 34 this year.
I'll be 30. Oh, hello. We have our resident drunk Mr. Harris in the chat saying, "Come on, Liverpool, stop being so shit." Ole. Kevin, long. He must have been at the game.
Chris, you already got one. You got one win today, Chris. Let me have one.
Chris, if you can get near a connection at some point, we'd love to hear some on the spot review from you, sir, at halftime. We'd love to hear at halftime. About 50 minutes time. We'd love to hear from you, sir.
Chris out here being greedy. Got one big win and wants another one right afterwards.
Indeed. Graham is saying, as of next weekend, I only have 3 years of eligibility of my 40s. Ooh. So that I will not let Graham forget that one for sure. As Mane, Everton's being tough to break down. This is the best I've seen them defend for a while, actually. Yeah. It won't be trying to release Gordon, but it's Alexander-Arnold reclaimed by Mikalenko, and then Alexander-Arnold puts it into the fifth row.
We can't get past midfield.
Mikalenko is doing a great job at left back today for Everton. And
to your point, and I know this is blasphemous because I'm going to end up like shooting myself in the foot. But to your point about Mikalenko, Mo Salah's been very quiet today.
No, absolutely right. But Mikalenko is the reason why he's being quiet.
That's what I'm saying. Quiet. Yeah,
half an hour played, and Salah's not doing much. I will say that we just saw Frank Lampard there in a wonderful turtleneck jumper. He looks like he is modelling George from Asda. As Liverpool's third choice captain, Virgil van Dijk, rolls out to Thiago, who then thumps it downfield to advancing Andy Robertson onto a sixpence for him, who squares it to Mane, Thiago, who has really started to shine this season. Really started to shine in a Liverpool shirt. And Richarlison trying to feed.
Oh, good.
Decore and oof. As no touch it, Decore had a chance there. This was Richarlison did the right thing. He played him in at just the right time. Yeah, he's onside. Decore had the chance and just pulls the shot. Matip did well to close the angle for him, and Alisson doesn't come early. Yeah, it was just a bit of a scuff, unfortunately.
Everton's early stages strategy here seems to be very clear in that they soak up the pressure, get the ball back, and the first two people that are leading the line, they just sprint upwards to try and catch on the counter.
That's every game, Tanner. Why do you think Richarlison runs about 20 miles a damn game? Because he sprints every chance he gets.
Yeah, I mean that is one of the things that he is renowned for.
Trent.
Perhaps is his speed and dribbling ability. So it's no wonder that he's always up there with someone else.
I will say at this point, every single player, apart from Alisson Becker, is in the Everton defensive third.
Yes, 100%, and we need to
Liverpool
be that because you know how dangerous Liverpool can be.
Conor McCabe is he said he got his SAS pants on today. I turned 19 in July and I'm starting to feel old, but you guys are assuring me I'm entering my prime years.
Just stretch more, Connor. That's the best advice I can give you if you're feeling old. Just stretch more.
My beard is like 19 years old, bro.
Yeah.
This shirt actually is, if I think.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's Tanner shirt. Joe Cole would have been about 2010, so that's 12 years old. 12 years old. I still fit in it. That's a good sign.
Yeah. Connor would have been celebrating his 7th birthday when you bought that kit.
This is the thing. Terrifying.
Ray. Wow.
You put it in perspective. That's wow. My oldest daughter turns 14 this year, so I mean,
if you want to put it in a bit of context, when Liverpool won the Champions League in 2005, then that means that Connor would have been 2.
Oh my God! I graduated in 05. Oh my goodness. Thanks, Connor. Thanks, bud.
You make it feel old here. Thiago Alcantara. Oh, but he's a little tiger today. He's fucking everything.
Great defense.
Defending.
I haven't said that all year.
Really stout defending. Although Seamus Coleman looks like he's been around for 19 years.
I think he has been.
We have some old players.
Seamus Coleman. I remember when he broke into a team as a youngster. But having said that, I also remember. I mean, some really widely veterans of the game. I remember when
Steven Gerrard broke into the team too.
I remember that. Yeah, when he wore the number 28 shirt. When he broke.
Are you sure he wasn't wearing like the number 60 something? I think that's when he debuted.
No, he's number 28.
Okay. If you're sure.
Number 28 when he made his debut, and then he went number 17.
Your
and then he
memory's
took
getting a little faulty in your old age there.
Thanks, Connor. Again, thanks.
Are you sure about Tanner? Because I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I'm teasing you, okay?
I'd like to point out that Tanner has now made this a thing, by the way.
Yes. When you're busy, you're working.
I love him. A wonderful Mattism, which is just going to stay around in the banners. I like to point out in terms of banners, we've still got this from WrestleMania in the chat as well. Just pop that at the bottom there.
Do we really?
Yeah, that's still there. I noticed that the other day.
Everybody thought that the Knoxvilles were in that one, which is not a shocker.
Let's see here. Steven Gerrard's kit numbers history. All right, per transfer marked. 28, and then he went to 17, and then he went to number 8. So there you go.
I think you'll find that means that Matt was right then.
Well, look at that.
You fake Texas bitch.
Yeah, y'all think I'm more faking it. I mean, he's does that look like a Texas house he's in?
It's a effing trailer. I mean,
Thiago. The volume just cranks up a bit as we are 7 minutes from half time. Mane pushed over, but no foul given.
Yeah, that should have been foul.
I'm gonna use this time to clear all the browsing windows that I have on my phone.
Demario Gray win the throw.
Do you think DCL will still be a Evertonian next year? Because I
I
just get
think
the
I
feeling
personally
he's
think he should.
leaving.
I personally think he should have gone in the summer last year.
It's going to be very dependent on if Everton stay up or not. If Everton go
That's fair.
down, then you're not going to see. I think you would be very unlikely to see Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I think Richarlison will probably leave, but it's a bit conflicted because you have they're going to have to find
They're the
clubs that are
players,
willing to pay the wages too,
but not only
and
that, these are the players which took a team down.
Oh, that could. Well, I think Calvert-Lewin gets a
Doctor,
pass because he
and
hasn't played
back
all
there with
year.
Mikalenko again with last scarf challenge. Mikalenko is my man of the match so far. He's
yeah,
an absolute blinder here.
he's been very stout here.
Indeed. As Agarnold will come across again to take the corner.
What would you give his match rating so far? You give him about a 8.
I'll give him an 8, definitely. Give him an 8 so
Yeah.
far, for sure. Agarnold bull in, and Richarlison beats it the first man.
Because that right side of the pitch is, for Liverpool, is about as murderous as you can get. You've got Trent, you've got Salah, and I believe you've got either Keita or Thiago switching sides pretty frequently. So at any point, you could be looking at some danger.
Thiago's on the left today, I believe.
They thought we change each other. I think Richarlison's asking for a sub.
Well, it will be Rondon. Will probably be the sub.
That would.
Richarlison's gone down off the ball, I think.
That would not be good for Everton.
I agree.
Yeah.
Although it would probably put Gordon in the front spot because Rondon.
Richarlison fell to the ground off the ball. This is not good news for Everton. I've said my thing about Richarlison, but obviously I wouldn't want someone to go injured, of course. Conor McCabe says, for a club that goes down, does their transfer and wage budget lower dramatically?
Great question.
It's not that simple, Connor. When a team gets relegated, of course, what they've got money-wise is they've got the wage budget doesn't change. If it's in their contract to take a wage cut if relegated, that could often be the case. I'm pretty sure that Norwich have got players in their contracts saying, like, if we get relegated, your wage will be dropped by 35% sometimes. We often see that being put in Football Manager town, don't we? Often you get the chance to put that into your players' contracts if you're in relegation fight. I know you're not normally in that. You're not normally in a relegation fight. I know you're winning things with Ajax normally, but you are.
I actually just started to save with QPR, trying to go
relegation fight then. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit more Simeone-esque.
Okay, and Jota's in behind.
Trying to be more combative and defensive.
It's kept in play by Mikalenko this time. Jeez. Mikalenko is no matter who's down that left side, he's dealing with it.
Mikalenko's been super impressive here. That's
so
not any. This is
a stat in the UK here, Tanner. Passing accuracy is 90% accuracy to Liverpool. 48% accuracy to Everton.
90%.
Accurate, yeah.
We spoke about this a couple weeks ago in that in this exchange and this rivalry that Liverpool had in recent years with Manchester City. They've actually taken on a lot of the other aspects of the other team. Liverpool seemingly been more comfortable in working in possession, and Manchester City have actually worked harder in the pressing and more long ball direct approach. So these teams have adapted based on what their most chief competitor has been. So this is something very interesting to see out of Liverpool here so far.
Very much so. I'm continue my fact about the wage budget quickly as well for Connor. The wage budget doesn't get lowered. You obviously have less money coming in because you aren't getting the TV money from the Premier League. So obviously unless you've got a billionaire owner, then you haven't got the money to spend, obviously. So it's not quite the same sort of thing. So it's not like they don't get. There's no. You can only spend a certain amount depending on your income. So
Yeah.
usually your budget goes down for it. Yes.
Yeah.
But it
It's all
can go
about
down.
how much money you can bring in if you're going to be in the championship, or
Yeah.
if you even go further down from the championship and go into, heaven forbid, League One or League Two. The amount of money that you can possibly generate is going to be significantly less, even if you're a club of Everton's stature.
Richardson's just gone down again.
I mean,
That-
we've seen
And no
QPR,
fouls
for
given. He's been
example.
told to get up.
That was a
QPR not too long ago was in the Premier League, and they were generating lots of money. And now being in the Championship,
Richardson is not getting up, and referee's not stopping the game.
Yeah, we'll use QPR.
Liverpool put the ball out.
We'll use
Liverpool are
QPR
not
as-
obliged to put.
oh,
I'm sorry to interrupt you here. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Liverpool are not putting the ball out. They're not obliged to, and the Everton fans are not intentionally fouling.
Yeah.
And there will now have a brawl on the pitch.
Oh, geez.
friendliest derby, huh?
Yeah.
But normally this doesn't usually happen.
So it would normally be in good faith.
The core
them
rate has
to-
committed a professional foul, and Mane's now being squared up to by,
man.
and they're now squaring up.
Everton
I mean,
have
like-
lost their heads here.
There's going to be some cards thrown out here for sure, and Gordon will be careful with a yellow card as well already.
It would normally be in good form or good faith for Liverpool to have kicked the ball out, right, or something.
It's good. It's, to be fair, not. It used to be a case of we used to do that, but it's not encouraged anymore because if it's a foul, the referee will stop play.
But even if there's an injured guy,
It
like
but
for
he's
example,
gone-
if he actually gets carted out and is gone,
right. If it's a proper injury, then it will. But the fact of the matter is that VAR have been watching it, the assistants were watching it, and no one said no foul. The Corey here takes 2 bites of it to stop the ball, and he got a yellow card straight away. It's as right. The
so do you think that yellow was right? Do you think they should have given
I
him
think
the
he
yellow?
was lucky to get a red the way he was carrying on. I'll be brutally honest.
So, and I get where you're coming from, but I'm confused because Everton was just trying to protect their player.
If Everton had the ball, they could have put it out of play. Liverpool are, under the rules of the game, are not obligated to put the ball out of play.
That's fair.
You play to the whistle. You play until the whistle by the referee. That's the rule that you're taught aged 5. You're talking about relegations there for like QPR going down divisions, unfortunately, Tanner. I'm seeing that.
Yeah.
Graham mentioning it here. We didn't mention this, obviously. He did mention, don't know if you guys mentioned it or not, but bad cop moment for Oldham Athletic, the first team to have ever played in the Premier League and were relegated from the entire Football League yesterday. Indeed. I am sorry to see Oldham Athletic go from that side of things.
I think Liverpool are very fortunate here to have gotten away with not so many cards there. Holgate and Allen were definitely trying.
No. Say it right.
Holtag and Allen were both trying to instigate things with both Naby Keita and Sadio Mane.
Indeed.
Both ended up being shoved in the face.
Indeed.
Everton lucky to get away without seeing a red card here too. This is difficult.
I would say Graham got back up in the chat is saying to you, Ray, to use wrestling terms, he was playing possum and they weren't falling for it.
Oh, no, 99% of the time that's the case. But I'm just saying in the event there was that 1% where he was really hurt.
It wasn't though. Referee been watching it clearly, and we are in now time lost now because of that 2 minutes was flashed up, but it's certainly a lot more that be added on because of the stoppages.
They're gonna blow the whistle here soon. I don't see them letting them play long.
So you are playing. Yeah, he's adding some time on for that. So we are 48 minutes played with 47 expected, but of course it is minimum time lost of 2 minutes. Of course.
Yeah.
Robertson.
I do see a lot of Ray's point in that we've seen this from other teams before, that where if a player goes down, you do a tactical foul to try and maybe save face or bring attention to the referee that, hey, our player is down. From Decore, that was a little bit more harsh than what you would normally see from a tactical foul, which led to
I hear what
some.
you're saying here, but I'm going to
Yeah.
have to disagree with you.
No, yeah, I get what you're saying. You need to play to the whistle. The ref did not blow the whistle.
Yeah, because I'm going to say is that normally the other team would tackle, would win the ball back and put it out of play themselves. But Everton haven't been able to get more than 5 touches of the ball in the last half an hour. And
you can't blame them for being inept at their jobs.
And all of those touches are Mikalenko. Let's face it.
But to your point, Tanner, that's probably why he didn't get a red and only got a yellow, because the ref probably understood the reasoning behind that foul.
Yeah, that is probably true. See, here as we close out of the first half, I feel like, Matt, you're going to hate me for this, but I feel like Everton got absolutely what they wanted out of the first half here. They wanted to frustrate Liverpool.
Oh, no, I'm not going to hate you for that, because absolutely, I fully agree with that game plan. But Everton will be very happy. I mean, the booing at half-time from the Everton fans for what happened in the first half, unquestionably, the team happy at half-time is Everton. Everton are much... Go on.
I'm sorry, I'd argue they have the momentum, too, after what just happened.
Everton be happy about that. But the problem is that I'm so sorry, we have to welcome into the stream quickly, because it is now half-time at Anfield. Our man on the ground, or man who's at the ground, I should really, 5-2 to the win right now. How happy are you, Mr. Chris Harris?
Oh, I'm on cloud 10 right now, honestly. You take cloud 9, and then you add 1, and then that's cloud 10. That's where I'm at right now, honestly.
So how happy?
Well, yeah, because 9 add 1's 10.
Yeah, you were there, weren't you? Of course, for the game, I'm guessing. So, what was the atmosphere? What was the atmosphere like? Because obviously that's now 7 points out of 9 since Mr. Dyche has gone. I'm gonna turn your camera off. Doing that, right? Behave, sir. So 7 out of 9 points. Is it all behind Jackson now? Is it all?
Oh yeah. There's only 2 Michael Jacksons. Jackson's at the wheel. I mean, he brought on Kevin Long. What more do you need? He brought on good old Kevin Long. Was he
the player you expected to turn the game for you?
I really wasn't expecting Kevin Long to. It was a smart sub though. Game management. And it's good old Kevin Long. It's good. Why have I got no bark all of a sudden?
While Chris adjusts his camera, there you go, and his lighting.
You can turn that off now. Thank you, Tanner.
No, I just wanted to point out here in the chat, Graham, glad Chris explained 9 + 1 = 10 for Matt's benefit.
Yeah.
Though I'm sure Matt does a lot of mental math when having to put trays of food in the microwave or the oven at work.
Yeah, exactly. You got to count how many seconds there are.
Deal with you then. Right, okay. Okay, I want to say, I'll just quickly mention that Benny Mack is over on Twitch. Hello to you, Benny. Absolutely wonderful to have you along on Twitch. So, Chris, you I haven't had a chance to see the game because they weren't showing it in the UK.
Yeah.
So, what else happened in the game for those of us who weren't able to see it? Well, was it a blur for you now?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be picking splinters out of my arse for the next hour, considering how tight it was clenched on those wooden seats. It was a nervy one, but we played well. When we got it on ground and we didn't oof it up, which we did for the first quarter of an hour, but when we got it on ground and we didn't oof it up, we played some decent football. I think a better team would have put a couple past us. I think Wolves, they couldn't finish. But, yeah, I mean...
We don't like Wolves this season. They've done some good stuff.
Yeah, but they can't score. They've only got like 30 goals all season.
Yeah, and yet it's still in the top half. It's weird, isn't it? Like that.
I know, yeah. Yeah, but it's because they've got a good defence. But, yeah, like, it was a cracking atmosphere, cracking game, and, yeah, Jackson's at the wheel.
And do you believe a bit more now? I mean, I've been saying since the start of the season that maybe a bit blindly saying that Burnley were going to stay up. But do you slightly more of a belief of that now? I mean, bearing in mind the result as things stand at Anfield, of course, is that they'll stay below you.
Yeah, and I mean, we need you to, take your thumbs out your asses and actually put a couple past them. But, the way we're playing, I mean, I'd back us against any teams we're coming up against end of the season. Got Villa twice, Spurs, Watford, and Newcastle on final day, and I'd back us against any of them.
Newcastle could be a very interesting game for sure. For sure to cover. It could come out of the last game, of course. It is that tight down the bottom end of the table.
Well, if it does, we've got Newcastle and Evs have Arsenal, so we've got the easier.
Newcastle are still obviously they're in this great run of form they're in. They're up in 11th place now. And
But by that point they'll have naught to play for. Arsenal will be fighting for top 4.
That's the David Metric case, and I remember a couple of years ago, 1998, when they won the league on the way to winning the FA Cup League double. They beat Everton 4-1 in the last game of the season. Was it maybe 4-0, something like that? I'm not sure. And Donkey Adams scored. Donkey Adams scored. And Everton stayed up on goal difference because Bolton didn't win. So Everton may need to beat Arsenal to stay up this year. I'm not meaning to sound like I'm hating on you here, Ray, but this is going to be a very rough running. To be fair, whoever stays up will deserve to do so because cup matches.
Oh no, both teams deserve to go down. There's been 4 teams this season that deserve to go down. It's just there's 3 relegation spots.
But the fact of the matter is, whoever finishes 17th will deserve to finish 17th. That is the fact because over 38 games, it's it is what it is. Cup matches, anyone on their day could win a cup match.
But what's interesting, what all of y'all have rightly pointed out here is obviously Burnley's been in really good form in trying to save themselves. Everton, we're seeing, are fighting very hard here against Liverpool. Newcastle are going to be tricky no matter which way you cut it. Leeds going to be tricky. And this all kind of actually leads back to the title race here. Manchester City have to face, in the span of a little bit over 2 weeks, or a little bit under 2 weeks, Real Madrid, Leeds, back to Real Madrid, Newcastle, and then West Ham, and of course Aston Villa to close out the season. All of those teams have something to fight for here.
They're tricky games, apart from Villa one maybe.
Do what?
Apart from Villa game, they're tricky games for Manchester City.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, for Manchester City, they're facing teams who really need wins, and they're going to be very scrappy and not easy competitors for Manchester City. And likewise with Liverpool, Liverpool still have to face. Let me pull up the listing here real quick.
While you're finding listing, Conor came in the chat saying he was up at 9 a.m. to watch Burnley, and when they scored late in the second half, the roof came off turf more. Absolutely amazing. And he says that Nick Pope said Burnley a few times today. The shots that Wolves got, he came up huge.
Yeah, he made a couple of decent saves, did Pope. I mean, he's been brilliant all season as Pope.
Well, this is the thing.
He's a top quality keeper.
We had Conor McCabe ask earlier if Pickford deserves to be number 1 for England still, or does Ramsdale take his spot? I think that sometimes you can throw Nicky Pope into that argument for sure. I mean, he goes, in my opinion, but
yeah, I think the 3 that are going will be set in stone, barring injuries. I still think he'll, even if Everton go down, I still think he'll choose Pickford as his number 1 Southgate because he's very loyal to his players.
Yeah, but can you take a championship goalkeeper as your number 1 goalkeeper when you've got Premier League keepers?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Because let's face it, by the time we get to the World Cup, it would be a championship goalkeeper, not a Premier League goalkeeper, for sure.
Yeah.
And there's no way you can justify that when you've got Ramsdale at Arsenal doing what he's doing. I mean, a lot of people are saying, some people said, Ederson's the best keeper in Man City they've got. Yes, but he's the second best Brazilian goalkeeper. Well, we got the best one because he's at Liverpool. seriously, a plastic Man City fan on online said that why haven't we got the best Brazilian goalkeeper? Because he didn't know that he was playing for Liverpool.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Allison right now is definitely Brazil's #1 choice, but you're really splitting hairs between him and Ederson. It just depends on how you want to approach the game. Ederson probably a little bit better. If you're wanting a goalkeeper to play the ball out with the feet, maybe a bit better, maybe slightly better. If you're wanting to have more of a possession, play out the back style game, but Allison's shot stopping is just remarkable. He can pull out some of the best goalkeeping that you will see anywhere in the world. So it's you're really splitting hairs between the two. Just one man's opinion.
I can see how you come to that opinion. You're wrong, but I can see how you could be coming to that opinion.
He's very sad. Poor Tanner. You do bully him sometimes, man. Just because he's American. He's xenophobic.
I've got 2 Americans on this call. I was that number till you rocked up.
He's just getting one back because I said he used the microwave at work.
Yeah.
And we go again.
Well, and without a 2.
I told you. I'm in control of the stream today, so you behave yourself, young man.
Yeah. Good stuff here. But yeah, this is going to be very interesting to follow the Premier League as the season closes.
Indeed.
I did pull up, of course, as you requested, Matt.
Yes.
Liverpool run-ins. Obviously, Everton are playing Liverpool today, 0-0 at halftime. Next game for Liverpool is on Wednesday against Villarreal. Liverpool then play Newcastle away Saturday afterwards. Then have another run-in with Villarreal on Tuesday, so that's a quick turnaround. 3 very dicey games. Liverpool then play Tottenham on Saturday after the Villarreal game, depending on if Liverpool progress to the Champions League finals. Aston Villa then on, I think that would be Tuesday, May 10th. Is that either Tuesday or Wednesday, May 10th? Then they've got the FA Cup final against Chelsea on the 14th.
Which we're covering right here with Tekkers, of course.
Mm-hmm. And then Southampton and Wolves to close out the season, it appears. So
indeed, and of course, much like last year, although we wouldn't be able to cover in exactly the same amount of coverage that we'd had last year, because not all games are on TV this year, we will still be covering the final day live here on Tekkers. It's gonna be it could be not just about the last 2 players in the Champions League this year. It could be down to title race. It could be relegation to fight for still. So much coming away on Tekkers, and of course the Champions League final and the playoff final also coming all your way on Tekkers this early summer.
It's going to be a real toss-up between City and Liverpool as to whose schedule is the tougher run-in. Here in the States, we actually just got a shot of the sidelines during the small skirmish that took place right before halftime. But this angle was between Klopp and Lampard. Obviously, they are no strangers to one another when it comes to being combative on the sidelines. We can remember Frank Lampard doing a bit of shouting from the touchline and kind of getting at it with Klopp the year that Liverpool won
during the COVID times. Yes. Oh, and they've done it again. Yes, done it again today. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They're not happy. We just had a stat come up here, courtesy of the BBC. Everton in the first half completed 32 passes. That's it in the first half, which is the fewest
pass every minute and a half.
Which is the fewest in the opening half of a Premier League game since November 2006.
Jesus Christ. It's not even we've been that shite.
Which was Watford.
We've been very shite.
Which was Watford against Portsmouth, by the way.
I wanted to actually ask you, Chris, since you've made your reappearance here. I just really don't want to comment, Connor. Not to be negative, but just out of fear
You can't
of my
jinx
own.
it. You can't jinx it.
I can't say anything. But I wanted to ask Chris about his thoughts on how Burnley have maybe developed in a short span of time here. Have you noticed any differences in the way that Burnley are going about things now that they are Dyche-less?
I have, yes, Tanner, and thank you for once asking a half decent question. That's well,
That's a burn.
So I rarely get this on this show, so I feel like I should,
Chris, what's your
take
favorite kind of
advantage
pie? Do you have a favorite pie?
Favorite pie, peppered steak. Yeah, I have noticed some differences. Mainly the fact that the shackles have come off, and as players have been playing with more freedom. You saw that with the Connor Roberts goal, the first goal against Southampton. Usually the wing backs are, exclusively out wide.
Great goal.
But under Jackson Ball, he's allowed to come in, cut into inside, doing the underlapping as opposed to the overlapping. It allows him to take that shot off and score.
You can tell that he's really got on board with him in charge, calling him Jacko in charge.
I love Jacko. He's great.
I love it. A lot of people said that he couldn't manage at championship level, let alone at Premier League level. He's doing all right so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think his only other job besides this was Tranmere, where he had an 11% win rate. But he's been brilliant for us. He's not lost a Premier League game yet, and Michael Jackson. But yeah, just allowing the play. We're playing it on the floor more instead of just oofing it up like we did under Dyche. We're actually allowing his players to play football, and we're far better side like that.
Would you say that today's game was a thriller, perhaps?
I've not heard that one about 500 times since he's taken over.
Or maybe that he's bad.
He's bad, yeah. That's another one, yeah.
I
Mane,
feel like
Robertson, Mane again.
I feel like maybe they should hire tennis legend Billie Jean King and
Stop it!
I mean, it's a stretch now
on the sidelines.
Yeah. Graham with the states that count. We got talking about the passing in the first half. Rooney would make more passes than that if he was round at your grounds for 45 minutes.
Speaking of Wayne Rooney, it's official that Derby County has been relegated to League One. No.
Liverpool corner in, Naby Keita. What?
No.
Right, gents, I'm gonna love you and leave you. So, have a good rest of your stream, lads.
A pleasure,
tag me in, Chris. Tag me in.
Yeah. Wait. Which way? This way. There you go.
That's it. There you go. Tagged.
A hot tag from Chris to Ray coming back into the game here. That's good. That's
how you do it. It was so much to talk about at half time. I think I didn't get a chance to go for a bio break, so I've got to hope I can make it through the whole half here. Mm-hmm. Right, as Robertson wins it high at the pitch with Mane, they just play a bit of chessball there, and Everton players getting in the way there for a moment. Gray and Coleman just tripping over each other a bit in the midfield. And Liverpool will come out quicker, hungrier maybe. Salah, Matip.
I'm sure both managers yelled at their players during halftime.
One thing, well, I don't think Lampard doesn't do a lot of shouting by all accounts. He's very like stands there and just looks like kind of got a Gucci model.
And if we're honest, the way we've been playing, does he have anything to criticize about our team?
No, absolutely. No, he will be very happy with how that first half went for sure.
I think so.
Because he said before the game, if you gave him a golden straw, he'd bite your hand off right now. Liverpool are probably the best team in the world right now.
If we can draw Liverpool and draw Chelsea.
And Alexander-Arnold, but Pickford at the near post and claimed it. I think offside has been given. So that's right up Everton Street right now.
Yeah, Everton playing with 10 men behind the ball here. Interesting.
Klopp would have fired into things for sure. What did you see in the Manchester United game yesterday, Tanner?
I did catch a little bit of it before I had to go to work.
Did you see firstly the penalty which was awarded? Tavares was right to have been penalised for that. For sure, it was a different penalty. What do you make of the fact that Ronaldo? I mean, we know why he didn't want to. The fact that Ronaldo is obviously going through a very difficult period at the moment in his life due to what happened with his tragedy with baby son.
Cheers to you, Ronaldo.
Yeah. But the outpouring of support at Anfield and then at the Emirates, to be fair, has been wonderful to see. Very as the ball comes out to navigate on the right wing. Fernandez's free penalty was. I thought it was the worst penalty I'd seen this weekend, and then Jorginho stepped up. Razor stood up because Iwobi entered the penalty area with the ball at his feet.
It was a one-on-one. You don't get those very often when you're Evertonian, when you're a Toffee. So,
is your question what did I think of Bruno Fernandes missing the penalty?
And it's not like, and it's not. It wasn't a save. He hit the post and it went out, which is count as a miss.
So obviously, a lot has been made of the way that Bruno Fernandes takes his penalties.
Trading forward here against Matip, who secures the goal kick. So,
but I really it was bound to happen.
Richarlison fouls
right?
Thiago in the middle of a pitch, and Richarlison seems to he's got a permanent scowl on his face today.
Well, he was elbowed in the head a couple times.
Ooh,
but
yeah.
You got Fernandez's penalty was bad, but Jorginho's was worse.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that both have a very interesting, almost similar style of taking their penalties, where they do the little run up and skip. A little bit.
And Jorginho just passed it to Lucas Fabianski on the goal line. He literally fell down and let it roll into him. By the time he was on the ground and his hands were there before the ball had even reached him, it was probably the worst penalty I have seen in a long time. Is Jorginho no longer a penalty master everyone thinks he is?
I don't know. I feel like he's had a lot of time out of being in the starting 11 now that Kovacic is seemingly almost the better pairing with N'Golo Kante in Chelsea's midfield. So that might be a little bit of rust. But Fernandes, I think that's the accumulation of a lot of frustrations on his part. He's not really being played in positions that he likes.
Alexander-Arnold, Mane, Keita. It's up in the air everywhere. And Everton now breaking. It's 3-on-2. Gordon goes down.
Free kick.
Referee's
That's got to be one that time.
Referee says goal kick.
Let's go.
And if on cue, Chris Harris has said, forgot to mention when I was there, Gordon, the right diving bastard.
Yeah.
He has. Yeah. There is contact, but it's all about that Salah crossing. And Coleman puts behind for a corner on the other side. Very close. We went watching a replay of the tackle on Gordon, and Liverpool counter-attacking in real time.
I've never seen a player ultimately red carded for diving, but I think we're getting dangerously close to the first time.
The thing is, though, I think that Gordon's got a case there.
I don't know.
But VAR looked at it and not given. So,
I mean, Matip. The
corner comes in for Alexander-Arnold in front of a cop end. Pickford punches up in the air.
Clearance.
It was quite a good clearance, actually, to be fair. Keita secures the Liverpool throw throws it back towards Thiago, who dinks it forward to Van Dijk, and it's up in the air again.
I don't know about you two, but I'm amazed at how well Everton has played defensively.
I've got to admit, if not a lot of people would have had Everton to be 0-0 still.
Agreed. And if we can get into the 75th minute and beyond, we could actually make a game of it because Everton seems to really realize that things are going.
Fabinho going direct and goes out of play for a goal kick. Whilst you do say that and you make a very valid point there, Ray, I will also like to not always to burst the bubble, but look the team with the most goals in the 75th plus minute this year is Liverpool with 15.
Well, Liverpool's the most potent offense in the league, so I know that.
Yeah. So it's one of the most dangerous periods of the game for Liverpool. Plus, another one of those myths about Liverpool's home ground, of course, is at Anfield there is as Gordon's in here. That was a chance.
Gordon!
That was the chance for Everton right there. There was one from Decore in the first half, and that one from Gordon. He's miles on.
Great volley by Walter.
And that one could argue should he have squared it to Gray, as now Alexander is already in as the defensive third for Everton.
He probably kicked it with his off foot. He kicked it with his left foot. I think that was the problem.
Gray even giving a shout to Gordon, seemingly gesturing. Could he have?
James Coleman is playing in the centre half right now, by the way. Connor Cape in the chat asking the important questions. Has there been a 0-0 draw on Tekkers this season? In terms of Premier League games we have covered, no. Mm-hmm. We did cover a 0-0 in the EFL Cup final, but that ended up in a penalty win still. So there was a winner and a loser. But technically speaking, that's the only 0-0 we've covered this season. Josh is in, and Anna they're back defending.
Amazingly, as a stat.
And concedes a corner.
Anytime that the 0-0 draw spook has been brought up on Tekkers, the game has ultimately had goals. so that's a good stat too.
So that's one way or another. One of us could be very, very happy. Maybe two of us. Who knows?
We're getting advertisements here that the Rolling Stones are doing a 60th anniversary concert. So if you really want to feel old, like we brought up earlier, Rolling Stones 60th anniversary concert.
Clear it. All right.
Liverpool have got Diaz and Origi warming up, by the way, Tanner.
That's the ball.
That's a yellow card for Alexander-Arnold for sure.
So Diaz and Origi, that's going to be an interesting 1-2 punch. Origi loves to play against Everton.
That was a very, very late tackle from Trent.
Yeah. A tactical foul.
Trent's come across it, and
it's a very smart foul.
No attempt to win the ball at all. He knows the yellow card.
Yeah.
But
he clipped him at the end.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not sure what he does.
The back foot was just barely.
But the intent was there.
Yes.
Yeah. I would say Graham saying in the chat, England Scotland was a 0-0. It wasn't this season though, so between seasons. So no. But you're right. That was the only 0-0 game we covered at the Euros.
I was so sad that I missed that game too. I really wanted to.
Why did we even chance?
But they have opportunities.
They're getting opportunities though.
Yeah, this game has opened up quite a bit.
It opened up a bit, and it needed to for both sides, for sure.
You're not going to get very many though.
Graham is saying Macro very careful with an ooh there. Like, oh yes. Kenneth Williams there. Cater. Finds Trent Alexander-Arnold, who whips it in first time. Oh, that's the chance right there. Robertson, and it's deflected behind for a corner. Mano was annoyed with himself because it just bounces off of him.
Is Has there ever been a 10-1 formation where
Yes,
everybody
we're seeing it.
Yeah, I
We're
mean,
seeing it.
yeah, I mean, under Jose Mourinho, this would be definite parking the bus. This is the epitome of parking the bus
Robertson's
here.
corner. Matip, and it just hoofed away. Anywhere will do right now.
Ooh.
didn't have to clear it like that.
So
Though.
The ball has
Diaz,
left Anfield.
Diaz and Origi are coming on for Keita and Mane, which means that we're going to see a little bit of a shape change here for Liverpool, going a lot more attacking than what they have so far.
Naby Keita, who really rebuilt his career this season, has done a fantastic job.
And boy, does he love to play against Everton.
He loves playing against Everton. Scored.
Are they midfielders or forwards?
Origi and they're both forwards. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's taken over midfielder. It took one midfielder, one forward, and brought on 2 new forwards. So that's a very attacking move for sure.
Diaz being a revelation, he seems to play extremely well, either assisting or scoring most of the time that he's played. One of the more creative players that Liverpool have in their side. It's going to be interesting.
Indeed. Diaz got an assist in his first game.
Mm-hmm. And with the way that he dribbles, that can be a threat here. They need somebody who can get in there and unlock things. Conor
Cabe saying it how it is in the chat, as usual. He's the man with the honest opinion, to face it. It seems like Diaz scores every time on the pitch. Well, when he doesn't, he's involved.
Yeah.
And he's busy. Unlike you when people are busy. Because when you're busy, you're working.
You're working.
T-shirts coming soon.
Absolutely.
Dude,
Absolutely.
I really need that to be a shirt with Matt wearing his hat and just like the word blurb coming out, and just when you're busy, you're working.
But it's true. It's fair. When you're busy, you're working.
That's true.
I love. It came out. I didn't even know what I'm saying half the time for that to come out, but it was just such a perfect. And there's Origi, Salah, it's in for Andy Robertson.
There it is. It's going to happen.
He made it happen. Tanner, talk us through the replay as it comes up. As immediately Anfield erupts.
Yeah, I mean, so Salah brings the ball into Origi, who obviously he loves playing against Everton, and then Salah lifts the ball up and over the Everton defense, and just an amazing volley into goal by Andy Robertson, who is he also loves to play against Everton. Let's not mince words here. Just a great team goal here by Liverpool. Against a Everton defense that has been very sturdy here. So great moment there. Klopp, very much a calming influence on the sidelines. Pickford not very happy that this goal was scored, but this has definitely been the lift off that Liverpool have been looking for pretty much all game.
Robertson heads it down, keeps it down, goes under Pickford's legs, and in the back of the net. Scotland's captain puts Liverpool 1-0 in front.
This is certainly not what Everton fans would want to see here.
And we've got Chris in the chat is saying yes, Robertson.
Ed 2, Christopher. Ed 2, Christopher.
We are staying up. So we are staying up. And Conor said, I said no because I knew somebody would score, and Liverpool did. Absolutely right. And just to prove the point that you made a few moments ago, Tanner. It is Liverpool 1 Everton 0 from the Barclays Premier League at Anfield. It all went through Origi, as you said.
Now, our last match Everton played, they didn't score the tying goal until damn near like extra time.
Absolutely. I mean, just because Liverpool have taken the lead doesn't mean it's done and dusted. Everton are still a dangerous outfit, and as we saw earlier, they've had chances, but haven't taken them. So they've definitely Everton could and maybe should be ahead in this game, but they're not. Unfortunately, Diaz on the left side with a Rabona touch and charges in, and it's off Pickford or the post. I'm not sure, but Diaz. When Diaz is running at you, you do not want to be a 35-year-old right back like Seamus Coleman. Look at it. Look at that touch. Literally back of the heel on his opposite foot, and then he beats Coleman like he's having breakfast.
And he doesn't start. Why?
He does on a regular basis, but he's got a lot of games. He's got to rotate. He's got 5 players and 3
Gotcha.
spots. You got to rotate it. And Luis Diaz trying to weigh up a shot. Play the Salah. They're both on the left side right now, so the left side a little bit on the weak side. Van Dijk stayed forward, and Salah wins the corner. Graham from Cook got back and saying, excited, we're trying to put JGB episode 4 together as well. Chris is saying, Diaz, what a player he is. Conor came agreeing he's very involved. Been in the league 3 months. He's almost an entertaining player in the league. This is now the case, and Liverpool bought him for 50 million, which sounds like a bargain already.
It's gonna be quite the trident when Mo Salah actually ends up at Real Madrid and Liverpool end up with Kylian Mbappe this summer.
Ain't gonna happen. He's gonna go Madrid, mate. He's gonna go Madrid. Graham said, didn't I see on social media this week that Liverpool have scored 32 goals and only given up 2 in the last 10 games at Fortress Anfield? Liverpool with their 10th corner of the game.
Thanks, Graham, for calling the place that my team was playing at a fortress. Appreciate it.
To be fair, it was called for and Pickford could go for a corner and let the ball in play and Salah over the bar. Sorry.
Y'all better defend, boys.
To be fair, Pickford could let that go for a corner and been a real nice defense. I'm not entirely sure Pickford needed to do that punch out. That was all like Origi from a couple of years ago, all over again. He's furious with himself now.
Pickford.
I think he was he was stopping a corner, but that could have been. It was Pickford didn't get behind that. It was Holtag which got in the way, and Pickford now screaming at his defenders.
Yeah, he's very upset at both Keane and Holtag.
But fairness, Holtag was the one who got to the ball, not Pickford. And now Alan's been yellow carded as well.
Or for people uninitiated, Holtag is Holgate, but it's an ongoing joke. So yeah,
I had to explain that one to Ray earlier on. As now got Alexander Arnold looking across left-footed and does so.
Yeah.
And Origi with a free header, and Pickford screaming again.
So, in my humble opinion, the best trait a keeper can have is being really lucky. And Pickford was very lucky in that last.
Yes, but you also need to tame that with being able to command your defense. You have a last line defense. You should be, if you're not happy, you should be screaming at your defenders for sure.
Pickford's always screaming.
But that's because he's usually you were asking about, you were mentioning about Fortress Anfield there. It was called Fortress Anfield for a long, long time in the 80s and the 90s. So it was a very. I've seen what's coming in the chat, so I'm just waiting to get to the moment. As Gordon tries to chase free, Salah defending from the front, and Salah does win the ball off of him. To be fair, and then Fabinho passes it to Thiago, and then back to Virgil van Dijk.
Too much one-on-one on the outside. Too much one-on-one on the outside. I
apologize here because Graham just put this in. Matt gets more excited than the Spanish commentators after a goal. Goal! And that's what Graham wanted me to do. So there you go. Happy now.
Yeah.
So the substitutions that clearly worked for Liverpool.
Yeah. A quick tactical note here that we've seen kind of shift over. Liverpool have kind of gone almost to a 4-1-4-1 with Thiago moving up front with Jota, Salah, and Diaz, with Origi playing up as a lone striker almost. Though he is drifting wide also as well, so it looks like there is a little bit of interchange with the players up top.
Yeah. It's clearly something that the Liverpool team have been working on for a while, though, having that sort of plan in the back pocket, which is always a good thing to do. This following Thursday, of course, just mentioning it on the UK side of things, Manchester United versus Chelsea is happening on Thursday of course, which is normally a big game. But I'm also thinking, how many will Chelsea beat them by? I'll be brutally honest.
Jeez.
And Ray, I apologise. As bad as Everton have been this season, Man United have been worse.
You can't say that Manchester United have been worse than Everton.
I'm sorry. Everton,
expectations
at least, as you see in this game, Everton are still fighting. Man United, in the last 3 months, if they had been playing like this all season, Man United, they'd be down here too.
And to your point,
sure.
we were really good early in the season, and then just fell off the cliff.
If it wasn't for Ronaldo, Tanner, they would be down here too.
Wow, I don't know what to say to that. As a fellow Liverpool fan, with a supporter with Matt here, I mean, we just have to look at the table, right? Manchester United, as embarrassing as it is that they might qualify for the Conference League, and how funny I find that to be, with all due respect to Ray, between United and Everton, one team is in the relegation zone right now, and the other is not. Manchester United have been horrible. Yes, horrible. They've been horrifying and horrible to watch this season. But I mean, it's just, I don't know. Early season Everton was really, really bad. They're much better now, but they were really bad earlier this season.
They're fighting more now, which at least we give them a chance to stay up. But Man United, they look lost without Ronaldo. When Ronaldo wasn't playing on Tuesday night, they looked like, well, what do we do? We got to get that trouble.
United have definitely self-destructed here as the season has gone on. That is without a doubt.
Danger.
Oh! Damari Gray, what a shot he had there.
Opportunities. Got to make them.
Graham is asking. Graham is asking for either Tanner or Ray. I'll let you two sorry, to humour us and pronounce the Welsh town with a lot of L's in it.
I'll take a shot at it.
Go on, go for it, Ray.
Ain't no way. Alan Fair, Braglio, Gwaglin, Gogier, correct. Go gotch.
Okay,
that's not bad. I feel
okay,
like you got close.
You go.
Yeah, it's Law and Fair Pool Gwen Goggle Gogery Churi Dwa Bwilanti Los Gogach.
That was terrible. Right, okay. At least, I mean, Ray wasn't head first.
Ray was much closer than I was.
Ray was much closer. Right, let's see if I'm going to just for L. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, right. Lanford, Pulligrin, Gilgon, Gehring, Chewin, Anti, Silagu, Gokogok.
Okay.
And the winner goes to
the locals. So apparently, the locals do generally just call it Landfair PG. Genuinely, that is absolutely correct. Chris then also
have some sense about them.
Chris, however, decided to be a dick, and because everyone thought that Landfair Pulligrin is the longest town name in the world, but it's not. It's from New Zealand, which is I'm not going to shock.
Quick note, real fast. Alan got subbed out for Ali.
Yeah, Alan has just gone off for Deli Ali. I'm not entirely sure he's the man to save the day.
A lot's been made of Deli Ali's, what the media would call a fall from grace, if you will. He's not only has he moved from Spurs to Everton after one would call a very hot start to his career at Spurs, but he's also not started a game for Everton since he moved to Merseyside back at the end of January. So a lot's been made of this former rising star's I guess playing time and his form as of late.
How old is he? He seems like he's a young dude.
He's a very young dude. He's only in his mid-20s, I want to say.
Oh, he's got time to get back in form, doesn't he?
But that's the thing is he was signed but from MK Dons many years ago. He was one of the hottest young talents. Um,
He
Michael
scored.
Pellegrini.
He scored what, a brace at the Santiago Bernabeu against Real Madrid, leading Spurs to a victory there not too long ago. That was a very good player.
In the we've got Michael Pellegrini in the chat saying happy soccer to all. Happy soccer to you too, Micah. I know you like doing it to wind us up. We've got Deli Ali, $1 million talent with a 10-cent attitude.
Well, he fits the Everton idea then, apparently.
And Graham is saying, Twitter poachers, Ty, this might help. I can actually help you outside of things because I am now about to pull a mags and share it and do some screen sharing because I've learned how to do this.
Lolland Veer Pool Gwyn Gil Goger Uquirn Drob Ul Lalandas Elo Gogogoch.
Right, so I'm going to add it to the stream, and then you better see it as well. Then, Ray, here you go.
Yeah,
it's
you got to click on the image. You got to click on the image there. There you go. That way, so it blows up. Here, as we wait for Matt's computer.
Yeah, sorry about that. You got
Landvire.
Nanfir Gudigwin Gil Goger you Queer Drob U Lander Silo Goch Goch Goch.
Yeah.
But why? Just why?
Because
Welsh is a entirely different language in itself, sir.
The Welsh are actually elves from Lord of the Rings. They are the descendants of the elves.
That makes so much sense.
So yeah.
So basically you're telling me that Europe is like Middle Earth.
It's
come to life.
Yes. That's absolutely it.
Says the man who lives in Baltimore. Right, okay, as Origi marches forward to Salah. Origi again goes down, told to get to his feet. Gordon goes past Fabinho this time.
Yeah.
Look for your teammates, Anthony. Look for your teammates.
We've now got Rondon about to come on, looks like.
I was going to ask Ray what he makes of Baltimore's Super Bowl odds this year. Every year they seem to get,
Origi goes down. It's nothing in that for me. This is the replay now. That's not a foul for me.
Little bit closer in progress, but they seem to just fall off right at the end there. And I've really actually hoped for a Baltimore Super Bowl victory a few years in a row now, and it's yet to come to fruition.
I think the biggest issue is, and they seem to have addressed it with the new strength and conditioning coordinator. We have been last year. We were the most snake-bitten injured team, in one of the most in football history, and that's not me being biased.
You have snake bites in Texas?
Yes.
Well, we do have a fair.
Snakes are pretty common in Texas.
The real ones and the fake snakes that of people that bite you. We got all
like Deshaun Watson.
Chris is saying Ray lives
on the nose.
Conor McKay is saying, I thought they were descendants of Ewoks from Star Wars. That twin name sounds like the Ewok language. Charming. Graham is saying, I'm likely to be going in Baltimore next weekend for the Red Sox game at Camden Yards on Sunday.
I've been to my fair share of ballparks. Camden Yards is gorgeous.
Yeah, Camden Yards one of the most legendary ballparks in all of Major League Baseball.
Word to Cal Ripken.
Yeah. As is the Fenway Park where the Red Sox play. That's a legendary park as well. Two great teams.
I love that from Graham. We've got some geographical humor going on here. Bolton more for people who want more Bolton, and Chris from Burnley says, "Who the hell would want more Bolton?"
But Chris, you're a proper Brit, Lord Baltimore. You should know the big homie.
Dude, you are aware that Bolton are like one of Burnley's big rivals, right?
Oh, no, see, I was thinking of Michael Bolton, the singer. So help me understand. Help me understand. I'm new. I'm still new to this. I think I've done pretty well today.
You've done a very, very good job.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. And Graham is saying tickets are $4 on Utah Street right now. They can't get people to go right now, apparently. The
Yeah,
old Yankee
that's
Stadium says
yeah.
Micah.
Fuck the
And
Yankees.
Chris is Chris is saying I'm not from Burnley. I'm from Keighley.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
pronounce
no.
Keel. It's
Yeah,
spelled
it's
Kylie, but it's pronounced Keighley.
Keith
So
Lee.
Same
I've
way.
learned
Same-
with
It's the same way you say Baltimore Ravens, but instead you say scum. I'm a 49ers fan.
That's
it's not a conversation between me and Matt if you don't throw one little thing of shade at me. Just one.
Oh,
wow.
I could throw more shades, sir, but I love you. You're a great
I
man.
love you.
Why?
I love you
why
too,
the
my brother.
49ers, Matt? I think I've asked you this
Because
before.
Willis played for him once.
Because who?
Someone called Willis played for him. Seriously.
Really? Your uncle played for them?
No. But somebody called Willis played for the 49ers. One of the
Oh,
people, I
Patrick
think.
Willis. Patrick
Yeah,
Willis. Gotcha.
Patrick.
Oh,
Willis. I thought you
your
said my
black cousin
uncle.
from over here. Yeah.
I thought
No,
I also
Jordan
thought you said my
Henderson
uncle
gets ready to
Willis
come
played
on.
for the 49ers.
That's what I thought. I was like, you got an uncle that played for the Niners?
If that's the case, you think I'd be living here? Right, Jordan Henderson's about to come on as Jota slips, but Robertson reclaims it. Henderson's about to come on. You're one of your favourite players. Salah.
Jordan Henderson.
What was happening there with Holtag? He just kicks it in the air. It falls back
Yeah.
into the hands. There you go. Mike Pellegrini is saying what a bad team to be a fan of, Matt. I say I'm a fan. I say I'm a 49ers fan, but at the same time,
he's really a plastic fan.
to be fair, they're my team in the same way that oh my god, we've seen the Everton fans and they're just not looking happy.
Do you blame them?
No, but to be fair, they played very, very well today. They played very, very well today. Everton have a game in hand on Burnley, of course, now. But so they could do without losing this game, but they're still in the fight. To be fair, it's in Everton's hands still.
Mm-hmm.
We got time, and right now,
Well, actually, no, you haven't got time. You need to pick up points badly.
Well, I'm saying, but we have time to at least get the tie, and they may add what 2, maybe 3 minutes at most extra time.
Possibly. Jordan Henderson's about to come on here for Liverpool. The captain's about to take the armband.
Yeah, he's going to provide a bit of a
calming
influence.
I think it's Diego Jota coming off.
Interesting. Yeah, so Liverpool kind of going somewhat reverse of the shape that they went to not so long ago to get the goal. Jordan Henderson's going to be there to really kind of circulate the ball and maintain possession, maybe also add a bit of defensive solidity there. You'll probably see him playing right alongside Fabinho. So Liverpool going a bit more defensive here. And
he has taken the captain's armband as well.
Oh, yes.
Because Liverpool have a hierarchy, which means that as soon as a higher ranked captain comes on, they take the armband. A lot of teams don't do that.
Well, I don't know. A lot of teams don't really circulate out their captaincy like Liverpool do either. I mean, usually you tend to get either Henderson, Milner, or Van Dijk, and all of them do a pretty good job at captaining the team for that day.
Michael Pellegrini in the chat is saying that Jordan Willis currently plays for 49ers. That's what I should tell people. I'll be honest, Micah. Given how you don't stay attached to teams so much over there, it's because the teams don't stay in the same city. If they're franchises, they move around. I have less connection with them, I'll be really honest. I wouldn't be at all surprised one day if, the Yankees end up leaving and going to Cincinnati or something.
That would never happen. I think that's made.
Oh, what a save from Jordan Pickford!
Yeah, that's made to be a lot more. Made out to be a lot more common than what it actually is. Teams leaving their cities.
The Rams.
The Rams
moved so many times.
But
the
they've
Rams
only moved a couple to one place and they moved back.
Yeah. So I think a lot more has been made about that. I think what you're noticing is that the players move a lot more frequently than maybe what you would find in Premier League.
Second
or
half
any
corners,
other
10-0
league
to
of
Liverpool.
association
And
football.
Robinson puts the ball in. They come to Henderson, who chips it back in. And it's in for Origi!
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that'll do it.
Again, Origi loves to play against Everton.
The
Loves to play
The
against
ball
Everton.
came in from Henderson. It went deep. The bicycle can get that back post, put it back across, and Origi buries the head at the far post.
Origi, the cult hero of Anfield. That man,
The man for big occasion.
yeah, he's gonna have a contract for as long as he wants to be at Liverpool.
He's out of contract in the summer.
Well,
Man.
we'll see. You know, they might re-sign him.
But he's apparently heading to AC Milan on a free, of course. That's confirmation of Origi's goal. He's watching it again. We're watching it again. Henderson puts the ball back in. I believe it's Luis Diaz with the overhead kick. It's miles on the side, and Origi just nods it past Pickford. The Everton defenders like statues.
That Robbie Keane, I'm not Robbie. Well, I don't know if his name is Robbie, but Keane not pay attention.
Graham's saying that
Keane.
Origi's already signed for AC Milan. I don't know if that's actually been confirmed or not. I've not seen the report, but let me see.
I've had a lot of talk about him heading to Milan. Yes.
He's been close to signing. It's been long rumored that he's going to sign, but that's not been confirmed as of yet. Well, that might be the AC Milan Ferrari driving past Matt's house to get to Anfield.
I need to explain that a little bit, Tanner.
Bring Origi to Milan.
I need to explain that slightly. We've had the first round of the British Rally Championship in my hometown over the weekend. They've actually been, the pits have been in the car park opposite. So that's been going on for the last 48 hours. But it's finished now, so they're all leaving. So I apologize for any background noise.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Chris pointing out in the chat that Burnley got 25 million for Michael Keane, which is
You want it back?
You want
it back?
I will say for you on this one. I'm sorry to say this, but what's happened there is Burnley pulled down your shorts and thrashed you about the private parts with rolled up newspaper.
That's a pretty very vivid and descriptive.
That's
basically what happened there, because
it's quite accurate though.
Burnley did the same thing with Chris Wood and Newcastle, to be brutally honest.
Well, yeah. That's interesting.
And Diaz
so very interesting way
Diaz
that
and
you
Henderson
pointed
further
that out.
forward. Liverpool smell blood.
I mean, but think about the age
I
in
smell
that
coffee.
Think about the age in the back four. Same as Coleman, Michael Keane. He's not starting today, but Yerry Mina. Like, there has to be some changes in that back four.
But the thing is,
unfortunately, they're going to be full of championship players next season.
Everton,
look,
let's continue.
Tanner, putting that to one side for a moment. Everton have spent more in the last 5 years net than Liverpool have.
I saw that stat that they showed on Premier League.
That is not good. That is not good. Liverpool's sole players to balance their books, of course. It's only true, friend, if friend of the show, Fabrizio Romano retweets it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Conor McKay, you're right. Friend of the show, Fabrizio does need to tweet it for it to be true.
Fabrizio has not tweeted that Milan has signed Origi just yet.
Yeah. And apparently now, mate, Ben Mee made his career. Now we have Coladini.
Let's see here. Fabrizio Romano did tweet out about it. Liverpool, so this is per Fabrizio Romano. Liverpool have no plans to extend the contract for Divock Origi, and he wants to try a new challenge. Milan are confident to complete an agreement soon, but this was as of March 22nd, so over a month ago.
He hadn't been on the pitch for 10 minutes and booked already.
Yeah, I mean, for Divock Origi, he's a
he would make
Liverpool
Milan
legend.
better. He
He
would make Milan
would,
better.
he would. But I really hope that he stays.
Do you,
Even
do
if
you know what the
it's
ironic thing is, Tanner? And we've mentioned this before.
Hmm.
Ray, Divock Origi in 2019 in the January was offered to Tottenham Hotspur on loan. Tottenham turned him down. Liverpool then beat Tottenham Hotspur in the Champions League final. Divock Origi scored against them.
Mm-hmm.
That was a mistake. Because if we'd loaned him out, Liverpool would have never made it to the Champions League final that year. It's that simple. It is that simple. Origi the man for the big occasion. Oh, and it's
Richarlison, what are you
booked once already.
doing?
Those three players have all been booked and they've all just laid into Henderson. The assist is right there. We are going to be seeing a yellow card here, at least one. The Anfield crowd is shining off. Referee is pulling out his cards while he's deciding who to book. Chris reminds us all of the time that Rangers turned Iniesta down on loan. Yellow card for Richarlison there. There's also the time, of course, Blackburn Rovers were offered the chance to sign Robert Lewandowski, and they turned it down, saying he wasn't strong enough.
I got to tell you, for 83 minutes of this match, it was an enjoyable, fun watch. And then the last 7 minutes have been hell.
Just to confirm something here real quick, as of 4 hours ago, the Liverpool women's team has actually won promotion to the Women's Super League after being crowned champions of the FA Women's Championship.
Richarlison here wins the ball.
So congrats to the Anfield
Absolutely.
ladies.
Richarlison saved by Alison Becker. That is the first shot on target for Everton in the 91st minute. Chris is saying that Richarlison should have been red carded for that.
Yeah, probably. Richarlison should have been red carded in a bunch of Merseyside derbies.
Had to be aware of himself as Henderson keeps the ball in play, trying to feed in Salah. Michaelenko's done his best here. I don't think he will get the man of match award, Michaelenko.
Not anymore.
But for me, he has been because first half especially he kept it down. Origi's made it all happen since he came on, so I think that he may get the man of match award. But it's so close to being all over here. We got 90 seconds to play here at Anfield. It is Liverpool 2, Everton 0. Liverpool going back within 1 point of Man City at the top of the table, and Everton, one could argue it's damage limitation still because it could have been 6 or 7 on another day. Everton defended like stallions in the first half, but second half Liverpool just seemed to turn up another gear. As we head towards full time at Anfield, Richarlison looking to try and dance himself free, and he wins a free kick. But they also took it quickly. Richarlison's furious that they didn't stop for it. So he's fused his own players now. Has Henderson and Trent Alexander-Arnold play some keep ball and try to release Salah. But Liverpool crossed the ball towards Robertson, and he's playing a bit of keeper there. And that's full time at Anfield.
Mm-hmm.
It could be the last time we see Divock Origi play in a Merseyside derby, but he has scored again in a Merseyside derby.
Oh boy! Well, gentlemen, congratulations.
Yeah, thoughts, Ray, on the game?
We played a hell of a game. We parked the bus, which gave us a lot of better defensive looks, but offensively, we had opportunities. But we cannot continue. Everton, to use a basketball example, Everton's
Yeah.
offensive play is Russell Westbrook on a fast break. It's gonna go
Yeah.
really good
Yeah.
or really bad. You
Yeah.
can't keep playing 1-on-1. We never run any. I know there isn't technically any offensive sets in football, but we're not on offense making passes trying to find the open man to get a good cross or to try to get a something inside the box.
Yeah.
We're just lucky to get over midfield because either Pickford or somebody clears the ball over to the point where we're running full speed.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I
we're not going to score that way. And so when you hold the best team in the entire league to 2 goals in the last 20 minutes of the game, that's successful. And this game is
Mhm.
different if Liverpool had to play some defense, but they didn't.
Mhm. Mhm.
They didn't. And so their
As
forwards
as
were
as
flush.
proven, sir. When the few times that Everton did break through, they were dangerous at times, but they didn't have
Very.
that. But they didn't have that finish, unfortunately. Another
Yeah.
day that would work.
Mhm.
If you play first half, as Chris Harris in the chat says, like Chris Kamal would say, they're fighting like beavers. They're looking like lions or tigers. No, he said beavers. We've also had some others in the chat saying, Colin K saying, good game, gents. I'm off to watch Inter Miami and Atlanta.
Mhm.
Back kick off. Good luck, sir. That. Graham is saying that bust was a bust. And Dan Griffin saying football without Origi is nothing.
Mhm.
It's,
I do want to add on to something that Ray that
yes.
Ray made an analogy to here. I enjoyed what he said about this being Russell Westbrook esque. I actually found it to be the way that Everton launched forward, almost James Harden esque, especially with Gordon.
Oh, trying to get the foul.
Yeah, they always looked for the foul, and while that on maybe another day would have played have played better into their hands. I think that Liverpool were very smart in preventing fouls or not drawing fouls that would have gotten them in much trouble. Yeah, this was a tough game for Everton fans to watch, and I appreciate obviously Ray being a good sport and putting his
We
heart on the line
actually,
here.
we
As we get
absolutely
a
do.
close up of an Everton fan wearing a Yankees hat, I'm sure that he's a lovely man, but I despise
Delete that
both
from
of
the
his
record.
teams. Yeah,
That's partly because, of course, the Red Sox owners also own Liverpool, of course.
oh yeah,
Graham
yeah.
from Good Cop Bad Cop says James Pearce on Twitter say massive roar for Allison who dropped to the ground mimicking Pickford's earlier time wasting for selecting a routine cross.
Yeah.
Liverpool taking the piss. The cop did chant apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Griffin in the chat saying Origi has more Merseyside Derby goals than Tim Cahill, Kenny Dalglish, Dirk Kuyt, Luis Suarez, Roger Hunt, Duncan Ferguson, Michael Owen, Sadio Mane, and Mo Salah.
Legends all.
That
Yeah.
all of them have scored 20 plus goals in a season.
By
for
the way,
Liverpool.
if you tell yourself that not only do you hold Liverpool to I don't know, no goals going into the 65th minute,
Yeah,
but on top of that, Mo Salah doesn't get one shot on goal.
Yeah.
You
Which
think
isn't
you're going to win
yeah.
that game?
That part isn't as rare nowadays, but like I said,
he
Everton
very
were
much
very
is a
staunch.
team. Yeah, he very much is. He's involved with making things happen, of course.
Sure.
So of course there's so much to play for. Look, we get a quick little table on the UK screens. That gap at top is 1 point. The gap between third and fourth is just 5 points. Oh, Chelsea are not guaranteed that top spot. They have got a game in hand, but it's still. You'd think they'd get Champions League spot, but
You've got three London clubs all racing to get that two
But
spots.
At the same time, though, the bottom five is Norwich on 21, Watford 22, Everton 29, Burnley 31, Leeds on 33. Leeds aren't safe yet. Still, Leeds could go down, and Burnley could both stay up.
True. Very
because
true.
I believe Leeds have got a game in hand as well, but
33 points.
It's very doable. It's very doable. Gentlemen,
there's still hope. There's still hope, Ray.
There is a lot of football to happen still this season, but it's time for us to make way and go and enjoy the rest of our Sundays, as it were. Mr. Ray Cash, you have been a phenomenal sport, and a phenomenal co-commentator for today. You have shown yourself to actually have to not be a plastic like some people would be. You've actually shown that you know what you're talking about. And for that, we thank you for being on, and we welcome you to come back on for a non-Everton game as well down the line, because I think you can add a lot. You could add a lot to the panel for sure. Would you mind telling everyone out there in social media land where they can get in touch with your good self?
Absolutely. Of course, I want to thank you guys for having me like always. I know I haven't been as present as I would like to be. Also, I want to thank you guys for continuing to keep that spark lit in me to actually find a team and really delve into the Premier League like I had wanted to for years. So thank both of you and Mags, of course, truly and seriously, since we're showing our scars. I'm at It's Ray Cash, RAY as in Mysterio, CASH as in dollars. Come follow me and watch me cry about another loss.
You are a gentleman and a scholar. Graham in the chat is saying, I can't wait to hear Ray again talking about Everton as Tekkers covered the championship. To be fair, we may not be covering the championship next season at all, so we may well have Everton and both. It could happen. Could happen. Tanner, your good self.
Yes. I was looking for my flag, but I can't find it. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at TexasGentleman_, where I occasionally tweet from if you want to hit up my personal. Or you can simply just follow us on Twitter, as Matt just put up, at Radio Tekkers, RADIOTEKKERS. That's where you find all of the team and all of the content that we put out, whether it be here in live stream form or in podcast form. Obviously, we've been doing a lot of sports work here on the YouTube and Twitch channels with not only football, but pro wrestling, MMA, as well as Matt's new project, revitalization with F1 racing, which has been great. But you can also find other content out there on the Radio Tekkers podcast network, where we've got not only all of that content, but we've also got things like the Doctor Who pod with Cy and Dan. We've got just some great content being put out.
Well, I'll tell you what we can do. We can, as if perfect time for it, to quickly plug one of those things, which is out every Friday on the Radio Tekkers audio stream.
It all started when coronavirus hit and the world went a little caca. In a blink of a cosmic clock, I went from working full-time to sofa test pilot, which could have been fun, if I knew how to Zoom. Fortunately, I had help, an observer from the project named Cy. Unfortunately, Cy is not tech-savvy, so all he could do was lend moral support.
Hello!
Anyway, here I am, bouncing around these four walls, putting edits in where it once went wrong, a sort of low-budget Chris Moyles with Cy as my comedy Dave. So here we are with our microphones, on Radio Tekkers, in what we call the waiting room.
Oh boy.
That's
absolutely
great.
Out every Friday on the Radio Tekkers audio stream. Graham is saying, I can't, still waiting for the disc golf covered on Tekkers. Graham, do one. We'll put it out on the audio stream, so we'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, if you just hit us up, send us a DM with where we can find it, and I'm sure we could do some disc golf coverage on here.
We would love to do that for you. Of course, I will say, don't forget to follow His Lordship Ben Viney and follow His Lordship at Podfather Mags on Twitter and on the TikTok thingy at Mags All Pods. Find me at the Matt Attack UK. You can find all my stuff either here on Tekkers or over on VGM. And of course, don't forget to check out Badlands with Ray and with Mags and with Paul over on the Chair Shot.
Things have been a little rough for me and Mags personally recently.
Yeah.
So I know I've been on a bit of a hiatus, and I know he's on a hiatus. But we got lots of stuff, and the cash in is gonna fucking happen. Okay.
It better, or you'll be fined, sir.
Will I be fined in pounds, shillings, or in dollars?
Well, in pounds, it'd be more. So yes, pounds.
I figured you was gonna say that. So
absolutely. Okay. In any case, as I said, on behalf of us all here at Radio Tekkers, thank you for joining us for the watch on the day. Liverpool 2, Everton 0, but Liverpool may have won the day, but I'm pretty sure that Ray has won all of our hearts.
Aww.
Oh, thank you. We still lost.
We're out of here, guys.